Chris and Ross on a prayer walk. Hello everyone, my name is Ross.
And my name is Chris.
And we are Play It By Ear Drama Company.
So we usually go around the place doing drama, but today we're doing a prayer podcast. So I guess you could call us Pray It By Ear.
Oh, he's only gone and done it. What a pun that was.
And it works in two levels, because obviously pray sounds like play, but it was a podcast, so we are literally praying by ear.
Chris, you work on so many levels.
Yeah.
It really is quite astounding. Well, you might be thinking, why have Chris and Ross, Play It By Ear Drama Company, been asked to lead you on a prayer walk? And you know, we asked that very question when we were approached to do this podcast. And, well, we still don't really know the answer. However, we are going to give it a go.
And we've been practicing our holy voices.
We have. This is a very holy time.
Yeah. So my kind of holy voice, if I was to do it, is a bit deeper and a bit more serious. So I might say things like, and now we should bring it to the Lord.
To the Lord.
Let's see how I kind of go.
That's very good.
Yep.
I've really gone for something more angelic.
Right?
I just go, Lord! They're going to love that in the earphones.
You just break into that. That's lovely. Sometimes I do the whisper, and then because you just have to go, yes.
The holy whisper.
Yes. And actually,
Amen.
You don't even have to be listening. If someone's really boring you in a prayer meeting, you can just sit there going, yes.
Amen.
Yes. And everyone thinks you're super holy.
It is. But actually, we're not here to pretend. We're not here to make fun of prayer, but we're also not here to make it super serious, because actually prayer isn't just a super serious and holy thing. It's for absolutely everyone to do in whatever way works for them. So actually that's what this is all about today. We're going to walk around our communities, hopefully, whether we're walking around fields or towns or whatever it is, and we're hopefully going to pray into those areas, the people around us, the places around us, the businesses that are nearby, and we're going to ask God to speak to us, and we're going to speak to him as well. And we're going to start off, Chris.
Well, I think obviously we need to start off by leaving the house. So
we
if
do.
you want to pause the podcast.
Pause the podcast.
You can stick on a coat if it's raining. It's Northern Ireland, it probably is. Grab your shoes.
And maybe a pen and notebook and your Bible. Just put them all in a backpack. Maybe a few snacks. Bring them all with you.
Key safety bit of advice when you're doing a prayer walk. Pray with your eyes open.
Always eyes open.
And make sure you're looking left and right.
Left and right, okay. And across and everywhere. Look everywhere. Yeah. And pause for a second. Once you're outside, press play again. And then you'll have a lovely monologue entitled Out of the House for a Bit, which is what you'll be too. See you later, guys.
Chris and Ross on a prayer walk.
Walk to the shops, Tom, says Mum. It'll do you good to get out of the house for a bit. Seriously, I was out of the house on Tuesday, for goodness sake, and now she expects me to walk to the shops for some milk. Why couldn't Dad pick it up after work? It'll be getting dark soon, I responded. It could be dangerous out there. It's 11 a.m. and the sun's shining, dear. I think you'll be all right. But it's like a mile and a half away, and the football starts soon. It's a 5-minute walk, Thomas, and the quicker you leave, the quicker you'll get back. The quicker you leave, the quicker you'll get back. Another pearl of wisdom from Mother. I swear it's going to rain any minute. Should have put on a jacket. Look at that guy wearing shorts. It's the end of October. It's flipping freezing out here. I've never understood how some people wear shorts in the depths of winter. Like, do they actually not feel the cold? Or are they just making some sort of macho statement? Look! A puppy! Would it be weird if I asked if I could pet it? Or are we social distancing from dogs too? Maybe if they have one of those extendable lead things, they could let the dog run towards me, and I could pet it whilst making sure I maintain an appropriate distance from the owner. An appropriate distance from the owner. Seriously, Tom, you are a bit of a ponce sometimes. Oh, wait. Where'd the puppy go? Oh, old lady must have seen me in my hoodie and made a run for it. Oh, my goodness. No. This can't be. No. The Chinese, it's closed down. But it can't have closed down. As a family, we were single-handedly keeping that place open. How could it possibly have closed? Oh, man, Dad is going to be furious when he finds out. I mean, he loved that honey chili chicken. A new place, it's not going to be the same. Hand sanitizer, sir. Don't mind if I do. That guy must be bored out of his mind. Imagine standing there all day and saying, "Hand sanitizer, sir," over and over again. Rather him than me. I'll take lockdown with the PlayStation any day. Now, what am I looking for? Oh yeah, milk. Green milk. Imagine if the milk was actually green. Don't think I could drink it. Just that, thanks. That's £1, please. Cheers. Right, quick time check. Crap, football starts in a few minutes. Gonna miss the pre-game chat. Less faffing, more running. Here we go.
During lockdown, how often did you walk to the shops? I knew I took any opportunity. Rain or sunshine, it was just good to get out and stretch my legs. And actually, the thing is, when we are out and about, whether we're walking to the shops or whatever we're doing, we have an opportunity to bring people and places to God. But so often we miss the opportunity because we're focused on so many different things, whether it's people watching, whether it's just being lost in our own thoughts. But today we want to take this opportunity to think about how, as we move around the place, we can be weaving a rhythm of prayer into our lives. So what do we do? Where do we start? I suppose the first question is, what can you see?
That's right, what can you see? I know one of the things Chris sees regularly is Belfast Lock. You wouldn't know by the look of him, but Chris here is a runner. You know, he runs all day, every day, for miles and miles and miles. He absolutely loves it. And often, he lives in White Abbey. For anyone who's sort of stalking him, you can
Thanks.
go that
I
way.
actually live in White Abbey all the time. I often live there.
But he runs around there and around Belfast Lock, and he sees some beautiful scenery. Is that right, Chris?
Yes, I've got the lock, I've got everything there. Look at the mountains in the
The
back.
mountains, oh, it's just stunning. The boats, the seagulls. Sometimes he dives in the water and sees some fish. It's wonderful.
I've never done that.
Anyway, we thought we'd do a quick interview with Chris while he was running to get a better idea of what he's seeing along the way.
Wait. There's no point in me doing that because that's quite a visual joke. And
No, it's not visual. It's audio too, because you'll be panting and out of breath while you're trying to answer questions.
But the other thing is I'm wearing skinny jeans for like the first time in 6 months.
And that becomes a visual joke for me.
Well, okay.
So I reckon we just go for it.
So you want me just to get up and run on the spot whilst you ask me questions?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right, we're ready?
I have very little room here, but
Okay, so this is part of the podcast that we call Running with Chris.
why have you stopped?
Oh, because I have to run too.
Oh, you're going to run as well?
Yeah, I'm going to run too.
Oh, very good. Okay, here we go.
Okay, here we go. Chris and Ross on a prayer walk. Okay, I'm going to see if I can keep up with you, Chris. I know we're only on the spot, but I'm going to do my best.
I'm great at running on the spot though.
So, Chris,
Yeah.
first question. I'm going to have to use your imagination here because I know we're in a little chapel in Edge Hill College, but we're at Belfast Lock. Get that in your head. What do you see?
Well, probably actually the first thing to mention is what I can feel, which is the wind. It's always windy at Belfast Lock. So yes, thank you, Ross. That's brilliant. And what I usually see is obviously the sea. And on a nice day, I'll see across like Hollywood and that sort of stuff, and it's really nice. But actually, sometimes when it's cloudy, it still looks great. It's just kind of a bit misty and spooky.
Sounds
Yes.
nice. Any seagulls?
Yes, there'll be seagulls. Yep, that's exactly it. Lots of dogs.
Oh!
Yep. And obviously, that's people going, "Wow, he's really quick."
I don't think anyone's ever done that, Chris.
So usually they say, "Oh, bless, at least he tries."
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But he's out there, he's doing his thing. So yeah, that's kind of me, and I can run for miles down there. It's lovely.
There you go. You can run for miles.
Right.
Very impressive, Chris.
Actually, there's one other thing. There is one hill on the way up, and Ross ruined that hill for me because I was running up at one time, we were driving up at one time actually,
Very easy in the car, guys.
and I said, "I hate running up this hill," and Ross said, "It's not really a hill though, is it?" And every time I'm struggling up that, I have Ross's voice in my head going, "It's not really a hill, is it?"
I think we're going to record that for Chris. It's not really a hill, is it?
And that voice, it's horrible, 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 horrible.
Well, there you go, Chris. That's very interesting. Now, one of the interesting things about you is that you're a prayer runner. This prayer walking nonsense is not good enough for you. No, you're a prayer runner. So, tell us about how you run and pray at the same time. Is it possible?
I'm actually getting quite tired.
Me too.
This is harder than I thought, and I really hope people are enjoying this visual kind of experience of it all. A prayer runner, I wouldn't obviously put it like that, but I do like to pray when I am running, and so I suppose I do that in a couple of different ways. Sometimes I like just to stick in worship music and just let that kind of sink into my mind as I'm running. Other times it's just taking in the view and thanking God for His amazing creation. Sometimes I'll pray for the people I'm running past. Just that God will bless them and be with them that day. And other times I'm kind of working through maybe things in my head, maybe something that's has been bothering me, so I bring it to God. Maybe I'm praying for friends or family, things like that.
Right, so that's very interesting. And also, just go back a second. So you said actually you pray for the people you run past. So the things that are around you, that what do you see question, the answer to that impacts how you pray.
Yes, very much so. And so one of the really nice things, because I'm out quite regularly, is you get to see other people who maybe walk at similar times, who begin to recognise different dogs, things like that. And so you almost feel like you get to pray for the same people again and again and again.
So it's a really good way of actually praying for your community. Being
Yes.
out and about in the community, actually praying for those people that you see on a regular basis.
Yeah, and sometimes I just ask God to help me get home okay because I feel really tired.
Up that massive hill.
Yeah, up that massive hill.
It's not even a hill, is it, Chris?
No.
Anyway, Chris, thank you very much for answering those questions about your prayer running life.
Thank you.
And I think right now we're about to collapse with exhaustion, so we'll stop running and go back to a jingle. Chris and Ross on a prayer walk. So we've just heard from Chris how he likes to pray while he's out running. Obviously, I'd imagine most of you guys are walking at the minute, but as you walk, we want you to actually start praying. You might even want to take a seat somewhere and have a look around you. And what we want you to do is think about the creation around you. We're going to play some music now for a couple of minutes and just take some time to reflect. You can journal if you want, write some stuff down in your notebook, look up some Bible verses, but just take a few moments to reflect on God's creation.
God of creation, there at the start, before the beginning of time. With no point of reference, you spoke to the dark and fleshed out the wonder of light. And as you speak, 100 billion galaxies are born. In the vapor of your breath, the planets form. If the stars were made to worship, so will I. I can see your heart in everything you've made. Every burning star, a signal fire of grace. If creation sings your praises, so will I. God of your promise, you don't speak in vain, no syllable empty or void. For once you have spoken, all nature and science follow the sound of your voice. And as you speak, 100 billion creatures catch your breath, evolving in pursuit of what you said. If it all reveals your nature, so will I can see your heart in everything you say. Every painted sky, a canvas of your grace. If creation still obeys you, so will I. If the stars were made to worship, so will I. If the mountains bow in reverence, so will I. If the oceans roar your greatness, so will I. For if everything exists to lift you high, so will I. If the wind goes where you send it, so will I. God of salvation, you chased down my heart through all of my failure and pride. On a hill you created, the light of the world, abandoned in darkness to die. And as you speak, 100 billion failures disappear. Where you lost your life so I could find it here. If you left the grave behind you, so will I can see your heart in everything you've done. Every work designed in a work of art called love. If you gladly chose surrender, so will I can see your heart in a billion different ways. Every precious one, a child you died to save. If you gave your life to love them, so will I. Like you would again 100 billion times. But what measure could amount to your desire? You're the one who never leaves the one behind.
So hopefully there you've had a bit of time to reflect on God's creation. For those of you out in the countryside, maybe you found that very easy. For those of you in maybe more urban areas, maybe you had to look around a bit more and see where nature was. Where can you see examples of God's creation? But there's always trees, there's always maybe green areas in built-up areas as well. So actually it's worth...
There's always sky.
There's always sky. You can always look up and see the
Exactly.
sky. So creation is everywhere, even maybe when we don't think it.
Do you know, Ross, this creation chat's making me think of one of our favourite games that we like to play.
Oh really? What
Yeah.
game is that?
Well, it's Where's the Cow?
Oh, I love Where's the Cow?
So let me explain the rules, everyone. Ross and I might be driving somewhere, we come up with a location, and we've got to figure out where the nearest cow might be.
So we're in Edge Hill College at the moment off the Malone Road.
Near Queen's Belfast.
Near Queen's University Belfast. So we were thinking, where's the nearest cow?
And obviously we can't really figure this out. We don't have GPS trackings on cows. Well, at least I don't. Maybe you do.
I personally do, but
You
that's
do.
a different thing.
But it's a bit of a logic game. So
It is.
We're in the middle of the city. Where do you think the nearest cow would be, Ross?
Well, in my humble opinion, I believe the nearest cow...
Castlereagh Hills.
No, I think there's one closer.
You think it's closer?
I think there's one down at the bottom of Stranmillis, and the meadows there down there by the towpath. There are
Something like
cows down there sometimes,
And that's only a couple of miles away.
if that.
So the nearest cow could just be 2 miles on
Just round the corner. You never know.
I could run and see a cow.
So if you're out there and if you see a cow, what we want you to do is hashtag where's the cow, take a picture of that cow and hashtag, what is it, AutumnSoul20?
Hashtag AutumnSoul20.
Hashtag AutumnSoul20.
It will really confuse people if they begin to get hashtags AutumnSoul with pictures of cows.
So hashtag AutumnSoul20, hashtag where's the cow, and of course the picture of the cow.
And
We'd
feel
really
free to
appreciate
play
that.
this game with your friends. You just choose a location, you have a good chat about it. It will take hours off your journey if you ever try.
Imagine if this is the thing we came up with that went viral.
That
would just
fingers
be...
crossed, Ross.
We can only hope, we can
Fingers
dream.
crossed.
Chris and Ross on a prayer walk. So we've been out and about. Some of us have seen examples of creation, fields, cows, trees, the sky. Some of us may have seen something a bit different, but we've all seen, probably I'm guessing, examples of creation not being quite as it should be, whether it be litter on the ground, broken pavements, things like that, things where actually things aren't quite as they should be.
Yes. And so sadly, rubbish is just part of our world, isn't it? And it really damages the world. It's not good for the environment. It's not good for us. And sometimes when I'm out prayer walking and I see rubbish, it makes me think of one of the big human problems, and that's the idea of sin and things going wrong. And at this point in the prayer walk, actually we just want to think a little bit about the brokenness in our world, but also think about the hope that God brings to that situation, and that he can put things right and he can fix things. And we're now going to do a bit of a drama now, which goes right back to the beginning and looks at the damage that's done by sin, but also helps us think a little bit about the hope that God gives us. Right, light and day, perfect, yes. And we have land and water, yes, that's brilliant. Now let me see, do I have birds of the air? I do, yes. And fish of the water, yes, perfect. And now that, I suppose, leaves the animals. A couple of monkeys about over there, yes, very good. And the humans, now, where? Oh, Michael, sorry, I didn't see you there.
Ah, Gabriel, how are you?
Not too bad. Do you mind if I put up a wee seat beside you here?
Of course.
Just I'm very tired from checking out the entirety of creation.
Yes, it's quite something, eh?
Yes. Do I tell you, Michael, this job, it never gets dull. Do you know what this old angel here discovered today? Right this moment.
What's that, Gabriel?
Duck-billed platypuses. Michael, these things will blow your mind. You know, part beaver, part otter, a bill like a duck, and what's more, Michael, is they lay eggs. Lay eggs! I don't know what God was thinking when he dreamt up that bad boy, but he was having fun. Do you think, Michael, do you think that today has been the best day ever? Like, I know what you're going to say. In theory, every day's been perfect since God created the world, but today has been a particularly good day, a particularly perfect day.
I take it you haven't heard the bad news then?
Michael, the only bad news I've heard today is for anything that would try to attack a duck-billed platypus. They have poisonous quills! Poisonous quills!
Okay, Gabriel, enough about the platypus. This is about the humans. Adam and the woman who's now called Eve, by the way.
What happened to them? Wasn't God just down the garden walking with them?
Yes, well, they've messed up.
No.
Yes.
What do you mean they've messed up? They live in the Garden of Eden. The place is perfect. They can do whatever they want down there. For goodness sake, there's only one rule, Michael. You'd have to work particularly hard to break the one rule.
Yes, Gabriel, they broke the rule.
No. They ate from the tree of good and evil.
They did indeed.
Oh my goodness. Do you know who wouldn't have made this mistake? Duck-billed platypus. Too busy trying to work out if it was a mammal or a duck or a fish to be eating from any tree.
Gabriel! That's quite enough about the platypuses, thank you.
Sorry, you're right. I guess I'm still in shock. Why did they break the rule?
Depends on who you ask, really.
Huh?
Well, Adam blames Eve, says she persuaded him to eat from the tree, whereas Eve, for her part, she says she was tempted by a snake, by, him.
Him? He was in the garden?
Yes, he told her that rather than dying, eating the fruit would make her wise. Her eyes would be opened and she would see the difference between good and evil. She would become like God.
And she listened to him? He's nothing but trouble.
Well, the thing is, Gabriel, the thing that neither Adam nor Eve are willing to admit is that they are both to blame. Yes, Eve was tempted by a snake, but he didn't make her do anything. He was just the tempter. And the same goes for Adam. He could have said no to Eve. No one was forced to do anything.
And what happened after they ate the fruit?
Well, they were ashamed, Gabriel.
So they should be.
No, they were ashamed of their nakedness, or at least that's what they told God. He went to walk in the garden. He wanted to be with his creation, but he couldn't find them. They were hiding. They said they didn't want God to see them that way.
And what did God do when he found them?
He cursed the snake and told Adam and Eve that they would have to live with the consequences of their actions, that life would be hard. Eve would endure the pain of childbirth, while Adam would toil with a land which would not easily produce food. And after all that, they would die and return to the dust. And after telling them this, he made clothes. He covered their shame.
Nice sense into the world, though, Michael. They can't stay in the garden, can they?
No, God has banished them. A cherubim and a flaming sword have been placed in the entranceway. No one is getting back in.
I'm sure God's disappointed.
No doubt. He made humans in his image. They were supposed to be special.
Well, that experiment didn't last long. What will he do now? Start over? Create something new? Something else?
I don't think that's what he's got in mind, Gabriel. He says he's going to fix it.
Fix it? Fix it? What's the point? Those humans don't deserve that. They had everything and they threw it all away.
Yes, Gabriel, I know that and you know that, but they, the Father, the Son, the Spirit, they say they have a plan. That one day the relationship with the humans will be restored. It will be perfect again.
I don't get it, Michael. Only God would want to do something like this.
Quite right, Gabriel, quite right. Only God. Anyway, word's starting to get around, and I want to make sure none of the other angels get the wrong end of the stick. So if you don't mind, I'd best be off. I'll see you later, Gabriel.
Yes, bye, Michael. I'll just work on my to-do list. Right, okay. Mission to restore humanity's relationship with their creator. We'll mark that down as ongoing. In the story we just heard, from the moment it went wrong, God was ready to offer hope. He had a plan to bring redemption and give people a second chance. And we want to take some time now to pray for situations which are difficult and can feel a bit hopeless. That might be for ourselves, our friends, or our families. And one thing you might want to do, if you can do it safely, is as you walk, to pick up some of the rubbish that you're going to find and just put it in a bin. But we just really want to take a moment just to bring this all to God, and actually to remember that no situation is too hopeless or too broken or too dark for Him.
And the crushing and the pressing, you are making new wine. And the soil I now surrender, you are breaking new ground. So I yield to you and to your careful hand. When I trust you, I don't need to understand. Make me your vessel, make me an offering, make me whatever you want me to be. I came here with nothing, but all you have given me. Jesus, bring new wine out of me. In the crushing, in the pressing, you are making new wine. In the soil I now surrender, you are breaking new ground. Hey, you are breaking new ground. So make me your vessel, make me an offering, make me whatever you want me to be. I came here with nothing, but all you have given me. Jesus, bring new wine out of me. Jesus, bring new wine out of me. Jesus, bring new wine out of me. 'Cause where there is new wine, there is new power, there is new freedom, and the kingdom is here. I lay down my old flames to carry your new fire today. Oh, today. 'Cause where there is new wine, there is new power, there is new freedom, and the kingdom is here. I lay down my old flames to carry your new fire today. So make me a vessel, make me Jesus, bring new heart out of me. Jesus, bring new heart out of me.
Chris and Ross on a prayer walk. Okay, so we've just spent a little bit of time thinking about brokenness and hopelessness. Maybe we've picked up some rubbish and put it in the bin. And in doing all that, we've actually been thinking about how God restores, how God brings back hope. And that's what we want our prayer walk to do. So now we're going to think a little bit further afield about what else is around us. What else do you see? For a lot of us, it might be businesses, shops, hairdressers. It might be farmers out in their fields, people who are working in their communities.
Ross,
What?
this means that we can play our second favourite game after the cow one.
Wait, you don't mean
Butchers
butchers and bakers and candlestick makers? Oh my goodness, Chris. I can't believe I'd forgotten about this game.
Will I explain it to everyone?
Please do
It
if you
is-
can remember how to explain it.
It is exciting, it's high octane, but it's pretty simple to explain. What you have to do, my friends, is just decide what your favourite baker and your favourite butcher and your favourite candlestick maker is. I realise I actually got that out.
Yes,
wrong
you
way
start
around.
with the butcher, then you go with the baker, then the candlestick maker. Gotta do them in order, folks.
Okay, so we'll take it, I suppose, question at a time.
Question at a time. Do you want to go first, Chris, or shall I?
I'll go first. So
So,
you,
Chris, could you please name your favourite butcher?
my favourite butcher.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be baker.
No, butcher goes first.
Oh, because right. I don't have a favourite butcher. Sorry.
Okay. I shall go first. I do
can't.
have a favourite butcher, and this butcher is going to be delighted that I'm mentioning him on this podcast. He's going to get a load of business out of this. It is the one and only Andrew Mulholland in Lisburn. He catered our wedding, and he was a fantastic guy. Did a brilliant job. So everyone go and visit Andrew Mulholland's Butchers in Lisburn. He'd be delighted, and tell him I sent you, and he won't remember who I am.
Yes, and other butchers are available, I suppose we should say.
Some butchers are available.
Yeah. And I guess that brings me to the baker.
So you don't have a butcher.
I can't think of any
Okay.
butchers. I did, there was Finicky Meats.
A fine venue to get your meats.
And I remember there's all sawdust on the floor. So,
As you see, there really are other butchers.
yeah. But my baker, I actually can't remember what it's called either. But it's in Finicky as well. But I do have a nice story to it because we used to walk home from school, me and my twin brother, Patrick, and my mum. She didn't go to school with us, she was picking us up. And we'd stop in the bakery on the way home when it was cool and get sausage rolls.
Wow.
Which I suppose you could also get at Butcher's probably as well. But it was good. So that's the Finicky Bakery.
The Finicky Bakery. Is everything in Finicky called the Finicky Bakery, the Finicky Butchers, the
wasn't-
Finicky Post Office, the Finicky... Yeah.
It wasn't called Finicky Bakery, but I can't remember
Okay.
what it's called. It was red and quite small.
So it was a post office then.
It wasn't a post
Okay.
office. Now, that brings us to what I think is the trickiest round,
Okay.
which is, of course, the candle maker,
Candlestick maker.
the stick maker.
When you say candlestick, is that the bit that holds the candle, or is that
Or
the
is it the
candle
candle?
itself?
I'm
I'm going to go with the candle itself, because I have an answer for that one.
Right, I have an answer for this one as well.
Really?
And actually, I have a shop name. So really, this is...
Oh.
How do you say this? Is the trickiest. This might be my ding, 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 full points.
Do you want to go first, or shall
So
I?
if I had to say candlestick maker, I would probably leave out the stick bit and just go candle maker.
Okay.
And think of Yankee Candle, because
Ah.
my wife Steph really likes those. And you go in. And one time, I bought a candle from that shop and smashed it on the way out of the shop, and they gave me one for free.
That seems counterintuitive.
But kind.
Very kind.
Yeah.
Well, that is nice. My favourite candlestick maker is me, Ross Jonas, yours truly. That's right. When I was a child, we had a candle making set. I remember having a little wick, which you dipped in a load of wax, and you spun it round loads, and somehow that made a candle. So I am my favourite candlestick maker.
Yeah. So if for your evaluation forms on Soul, I don't know if they're doing them this year, hopefully they are, maybe you should put down in those evaluation forms your favourite butcher, baker and candlestick maker. And again, I'm sure they would really appreciate that.
They really, really would.
Chris and Ross on a prayer walk.
So if you can see any businesses or shops, what we'd love you to do now is actually write their names down somewhere, either in your phone or in a journal, so that you can pray for them over the next couple of weeks. And we want to pray for all our businesses that in this reasonably tough time of just coming out of lockdown, that they are safe, that they stay healthy, and that they actually begin to bring in a bit of profit for themselves. And so we're going to listen to some music now, and we're going to take some time just to pray for our local businesses.
I worship you. You are here. You're working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. Oh, we believe. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Oh, we believe. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. That's it. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you with all my heart. I worship you. You are here, you're turning lives around. I worship you, yeah. I worship you. You are here, lifting every heart. I worship you, God. I worship you, yeah. I know you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. I know you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Come on, declare. That is who you are. Yeah, that is who you are. Lift it up. That is who you are. That is who you are. That is who you are. With everything in me, I know that is who you are. That is who you are. That is who you are. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it in my family. I've seen it in my life. You make a way where there's no way. You turn the page. You bring victory from ashes. That's who you are.
Okay, so believe it or not, it's time to actually start heading home. So if you feel you've walked a really considerable distance at this point, you might want to start running back, otherwise just walk at a leisurely pace. But as you go, we want you to start thinking, reflecting on the things that we've been praying into over the last little while, and think about actually how can we take these prayers, these reflections home with us. I don't know what your homes have been like over the last while, if they've been frantic due to lockdown, maybe they've been unusually quiet. We're all walking back into different home environments. And we want you to think about actually how we can bring the kingdom that we've been talking about and thinking about and praying about into our own homes. So what we're going to do is allow you to think and reflect on that. And we've got a short poem, kind of monologue thing, just to finish off.
There aren't enough rooms in the house. I've never noticed that before. There's a kitchen that stretches into a dining room, the place where the rabbit resides. That leads onto the living room with its furniture all pointed towards the TV. And upstairs, there's a bathroom and bedroom and another bedroom and a room where we leave all our junk. Not forgetting the garden, which we spent a long day weeding. And for those few weeks when the sun shone, was a post-stamp sized Eden. It sounds like a lot when I say it out loud, but it's not. There are simply not enough rooms in the house. Not when you were trapped in it for months, told only to step outside if you really must. And your world suddenly shrank. Going to Tesco's became an expedition. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be. You completed Netflix and learnt how to cook. And there were Zoom quizzes. Please, no more Zoom quizzes. But you couldn't blot out the statistics. Cases rising, people dying, no end in sight. There was no way out, and there weren't enough rooms in the house. Summer came, and it began to rain, but people could be part of your life again. Firstly, in the garden, then let into the house. But stay back, not too much relaxation. Bring your own mug, keep the windows open. It may be blowing a gale, but we need the ventilation. And then we were allowed, no, nearly commanded, to go out, to eat and drink and shop. The economy needs us. And we want to go out. We want life to be normal. But it's not. It's masks and gels and always checking the news. It makes us snap and it makes us shout, ready to fight with anyone who's home, because there aren't enough rooms in the house. But when did God ever tell us to make our own space, to make things perfect and to our own tastes? He didn't tell us to focus just on ourselves, but called us to be family. And family is a place where we show our real selves, the good and the ugly. We learn to be forgiven and we learn to forgive. And this family isn't just those within our walls whose genes and receding hairlines we share. Yes, we will find this family at home, but also out there. Because when it comes to God's family, there aren't nearly enough rooms in the house. As we walk back into our homes, it might be nice just to take a moment to walk through the rooms and pray love and joy and peace and health over our families. But we do hope, as you've done the prayer walk, actually being able to reflect that God's family isn't just the people within our walls or the people we chat to on Zoom. Actually, God's family could be everyone out there. Everyone who gets a chance to know God and be welcomed back in. So I hope you've enjoyed this.
I know I have. Have you enjoyed it, Chris?
I have. The running on the spot was quite tiring, but apart from that...
The question is, though, Chris, do you think they'll ask us again next year?
It's a good question. Hopefully next year we'll actually be able to see all these people face to face.
And we could do a live podcast.
Oh, well, we just follow people around a Bangor.
That would be the dream.
That would be the dream. We could just narrate everyone's prayer
We
walk.
could narrate the whole of Autumn Soul next year.
Yeah.
How about we see you all at Autumn Soul next year and we'll narrate everything you do.
Yeah, that sounds good. And remember, if you see any cows, let us know.
Hashtag where's the cow?
And any of your favourite butchers, bakers or candlestick makers.
Hashtag Andrew Mulholland's Butchers Lisburn.
And we'll see you soon, everyone.
Bye.
Chris and Ross on a prayer walk.